Yeah, I feel like I've had a day in my life. Testing for live audience who's on the webcam. Testing. Dr. Krawitz, can you hear me? That's a very annoying. You can hear me now? Hi everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, if you don't know me, my name is Dr. Harper. I am one of the doctors for Lambda here. So, I'm here to talk private. A few announcements before we get started. If you have not signed in, please do so. We want to track you. And also, if you're earning extra credit and you don't sign in, oops, you don't get credit. But if we're also giving away door prizes, so we have some gift cards and some shirts and stuff like that. Make sure you enter the door prize thing. I'll say a little bit more at the end, but if you are earning extra credit, each professor might have a different thing, but I know there's a consistency between like Dr. Kravitz and I, as well as the tester, that the thing is, if you're here, great. You are still needing to write up a little short thing. Dr. Dahlgren, I think you should have to take a picture that you're here and you're good. For those of you visiting us online, hello, thank you. Make sure you read your extra credit assignment to know what to do. I want to briefly say that these three women, I want to first thank you all for coming, and they'll be introduced in a little bit. All three of them told me that they want to network. We have some swag, we have some business cards, some internships possibly available. I will remind you more of that at the end. So I think that's all I have for now, but the event will be hosted again by my Lambda Pi Eta leadership. So I'm first going to pass it off to Macy, who is our vice president.
Hello, thank you all so much for joining us. So tonight I'm just going to get us started. So starting from this end of the table, we have Ms. Lisa Pinto, and she's the VP of Public Relations and Corporate Communications at SWBC. She's also an alumni, so go there, Kat. Do y'all still do that anymore?
Yes.
Okay, just check. Don't worry, tradition's standing strong.
Okay, good.
Next we have Next we have Tyler. Oh gosh. Schievelbein. Thank you. And she is the marketing and communications manager for Habitat of Humanity Montgomery. So it's an awesome nonprofit organization. And then lastly, but not least, we have Rachel Drody, and she is the CEO of her own communications business called Harper, Grayson Communications. And so we're so excited to have each of them here with us today. So how this is going to work is they are each going to just give a 5 to 7 keynote minute speech just discussing their careers, their journey, and their life in communications. And then after that, we'll open up the floor to questions, and then I'll get more into that after we go ahead and listen. So to begin, we're going to have Rachel Drody start with us.
Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Rachel Drody. I own Harper Grayson Communications. The biggest thing that I can tell you about your career and getting started off is always show up to the room. Meet the connections, network with people, shake hands, and want to be in rooms that you probably shouldn't have been in the first place. It is all about doing that. My career started off in communications. I was a morning show radio DJ for a top 100 markets. I got to go to the Grammys. It was awesome. I have been the marketing director for a neurosurgical practice, 150 people real estate office. I have been doing marketing for quite a while, and then I was wrapping up working for a $2.2 billion industrial supplier doing global marketing before I started my own agency. I started that 7 years ago here in the Woodlands area. I was a single mom with 2-year-old twins. My life had definitely taken a lot of change, but I was a single mom and I wanted to make networking friends, and professional affiliations is where I decided to go. So I started showing up to networking meetings. And at that point I was selling $2.2 billion industrial supplies. I could build a nuclear power plant or an offshore rig. Nobody locally here needed me. What do? I started going to the rooms, and all of a sudden business owners kept coming to me with their laptops going, help, help. So I started off my agency with integrity and just figured I could teach these small business owners what to do. And then I started doing it. And about a week in, I was full-time for myself. Within a year, I'd had staff. From there, we just kept growing, and we have been winning awards, lots of local awards. I'm really proud of my team. We handle clients globally. New Zealand, we go as far as New Zealand. So we have been doing social media, PR work, ads, websites for companies around the globe, here out of the Woodlands area. Social media is probably the biggest keystone for us. And the biggest thing I like to tell people there is know your math, know your KPIs, understand what your clients want. But getting into those circles and shaking hands and trying to be the smallest fish in the room. I'm always trying to learn from somebody else. And that's the biggest thing that has driven my career, is that I'm always wanting to learn and shake somebody's hand and hear their story. And it's always listening to them. So those have been the corner things that have started. I will tell you right now, it has not been easy. It's like drinking from a fire hose is running your own business. You know, I'm taking on the HR hats. I take on, you know, corporate planning for big companies. I take on, you know, small things. What happens when the printers are out of paper and having to fix all of that stuff? It is a lot running your own business, but it's satisfying. I will say that right now. I, you know, solely support my kids. We're up and growing. I'm supporting other families, and it's a lot of responsibility taking on that much, but it's hard. It's worth it. But in the communications field, everything that I've learned from is just, I didn't say no. I kept learning. You know, corporate communications for I was the corporate communications and strategic planning for a nationwide call center. I didn't say no. I just tried. When they gave me an opportunity, I went for it. As soon as someone opened a door for me, I took that opportunity. I learned how to build websites from that company. I should have never been a morning show DJ. That wasn't what my career path was. I went to the Grammys. You know, there was a lot of those different things because I didn't say no, and I wanted to learn from whatever that job opportunity was, is basically how I got to be in the position that I am today.
So now we're going to have Tyler. She's with Habitat for Humanity in the Montgomery County, Texas area.
Yes, thank y'all so much. I'm not a professional speaker like these wonderful ladies, so mine's written down, so bear with me. But good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight. My name is Tyler Schievelbein, and I am the Marketing and Communications.
I love that you're so soft-spoken, so is my wife. It's hard to hear you, too.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can y'all hear me? Am I too soft?
No.
You can't hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. This is my sister. She's my biggest supporter right there. So I am the marketing and communications manager for Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County, Texas. I graduated from University of Houston with a bachelor's degree in PR and a minor in marketing. When I was in college, I knew I wanted to work in a creative field where I could use my communication skills to make an impact, but I wasn't entirely sure what that would look like. And I know a lot of communication students feel that way because this degree can take you in so many different directions. After graduation, I started my career at a marketing agency as an account manager. In that role, I worked with various clients, helping to manage campaigns, oversee branding strategies, and ensure client needs were met. It was fast-paced, and I learned a lot about working with different industries, but I found myself craving something more meaningful. I then transitioned to a more traditional PR agency as an account executive where I focused more on media relations, PR, and event management. I worked with a variety of corporate clients, mainly oil and gas, but what really stood out to me were our pro bono nonprofit accounts. Those were the projects I felt most connected to and the ones that made me feel like my work was truly making a difference. I found myself looking forward to those projects more than anything else. At one point, I even considered going back to school to get my master's in social work to become a counselor because I wanted to work in a field where I could truly help people. But then I had a realization that I did not need to start over. I could take my love for serving others and combine it with my skills in marketing and PR to support nonprofit organizations. That's when I knew I wanted to move in-house for a nonprofit where I could be fully immersed in the mission every day. So I made the jump to nonprofit communications when I joined Montgomery County Food Bank as their marketing and communications manager. It was a huge shift from agency life, but it was exactly what I was looking for. I got to do everything, anything from social media, PR, videography, photography, event marketing, and primarily storytelling. I could see the direct impact of my work. Eventually, I transitioned to Habitat for Humanity, where I continue to use those same skills to help families achieve their dream of home ownership. Working in nonprofit marketing and communications is unique because we do have to do a lot with very limited resources. Unlike big corporations that have big ad budgets, nonprofits rely on creativity and strategic communication to engage donors, volunteers, and the community. So, some of the key skills that I use every day, first being storytelling and content creation. Nonprofits need to inspire people to care about their cause. One of the best ways to do that is through storytelling. Whether it's a social media post, a fundraising email, or a donor newsletter, every piece of content we create is designed to connect people to our mission. Next is PR and media outreach. Getting media coverage is crucial for nonprofits. I spend a lot of time pitching stories, writing press releases, and building relationships with local journalists to make sure our mission is getting the attention it deserves. Next is social media and digital strategy. Social media is one of the most powerful tools nonprofits have. It's a way to engage with supporters, raise awareness, and mobilize action. A big part of my job is making sure we have strong, consistent messaging across all of our platforms. Next is event marketing and community engagement. We host fundraisers, home dedication ceremonies, community events, and each one requires strategic promotion. My job is to ensure people show up, get involved, and feel connected to the work we do. So, if you're considering a career in nonprofit communications, I have a few pieces of advice. Number one, gain hands on experience. The best way to find out what you love is by doing it. So, intern with a nonprofit, volunteer to help with their marketing, or take on freelance projects. Volunteers always need help with social media, PR, and storytelling. And getting real world experience will set you apart. Number two, be open to wearing many hats. One of the biggest differences between agency and nonprofit work is that in a nonprofit, you do a little bit of everything. If you like variety and being hands-on, nonprofit communications is a great fit. Number three, network and build relationships. Every job I've had came from connections I made along the way. Talk to professionals in the field, ask questions, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. The communication industry is built on relationships, and networking can open doors you never expected. And number four, remember your why. Working in nonprofit communications isn't just a job, it's a chance to make a real impact. When you're crafting a message, you're not just promoting a brand, you're helping people, raising awareness, and changing lives. That's what makes this career path so rewarding. A communication degree is one of the most versatile degrees you can earn. Whether you go into nonprofits, corporate marketing, PR, or media, the skills you're learning right now will serve you in any career. For me, nonprofit communications is more than just marketing. It's about making a difference. Every email I send, every press release I write, and every campaign I create plays a role in helping families build safe, affordable homes for Habitat. And that's a feeling no job title or paycheck can replace. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so next, last but certainly not least, our alumni, Lisa Pinto. She's the VP of Public Relations and Corporate Communications of SWBC out of San Antonio.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so how many of y'all knew what you wanted to do with your life before you got to college? Some? Okay. Okay, let me ask this question. How many of you right now know what you want to do when you graduate? Okay. So my background took a little bit of a different path, if you will. When I was in 6th grade, my cousin asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "Well, that's easy. It would have been an astronaut, but I don't do well with math." And so I decided, let me figure it out. And I knew, because I had watched a news story, that I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be in TV news. And so I came to Sam Houston State and I majored in radio and television and in speech communication. And so what I did was when I graduated, first and foremost, to Rachel's point, meet everyone you possibly can. You want to make connections with everyone because I truly believe in my career, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am now had it not been for connections that I made along the way. So just network until you can't network anymore. So I left Sam Houston State and was a TV news anchor in Beaumont. Anyone from that area? Oh, yes. Okay, we'll talk later. So I worked there for 4 years, and then I moved to San Antonio because that was the goal for me, was I wanted to be on air in San Antonio. Moved there, and I was doing TV for almost 4 years. And San Antonio is known as Military City, USA. Well, I was covering all of the war casualties during the height of the war from 2003 through 2006. My brother graduated from A&M. He ended up over in Iraq, and I decided it was time to make a move, to make a change, because I had covered war casualties for so long that when he was over there, it really just hit a little too close to home. So I was doing a story on a company that, quite frankly, I had never heard of in San Antonio called SWBC. And I walked in, and the two gentlemen who owned the company were standing there. And they handed me a Sam Houston State hat, a teddy bear. I thought that was kind of weird, though. Why wouldn't they hand me a bear hat? But anyways, and they handed me a picture of Sam Houston. And they were like, "Oh, hi, it's so nice to meet you." Mind you, I didn't have a clue who they were. So we do the interview for the story, and we're talking afterwards. And they said, "Hey, we're looking for a PR person. Would you, by chance, know anyone?" So I looked at my photographer, and I said, "Please keep your mouth shut." "Yes, me." And that is what got me to where I am today. So I've been with SWBC for 18 years. Prior to, I never stayed in one place more than 4. I always thought I needed to keep moving up the career ladder, right? So I think what made the decision so quickly for me to know I was going to the right place was that the two owners of the company, Charlie Amato and Gary Dudley, number one, they had founded and started out of the trunk of their car. They started this financial services company that is headquartered in San Antonio, who works with the San Antonio Spurs, who works with the Dallas Cowboys, and whose motto aligns with Sam Houston's motto, the measure.
Life is in service.
I was waiting to make sure that y'all had that one, yeah. And I've been there ever since. And I started as a PR specialist, moved into a PR manager role, and just kept moving from there. But I think the point of my story with my degree is that it truly is who you know. And a lot of those connections are right here at Sam Houston State. Talk to your professors, talk to the career services team, make as many connections as you possibly can. And then I do want to share a side note. So today, we decided to come in for this, but we had an entire day meeting with different folks across the university and Dr. White to see how we could recruit more and how we can help get students from SAM placed in internships and full-time jobs. And how can we help? And so what's really interesting is my life has come full circle because I now work for 2 guys that graduated from Sam Houston State, 1969 and 1970, but whatever. They're still in the office every single day. But I have 3 individuals that came with me today, and 2 of the individuals, and they're in the back, have graduated from Sam Houston. So Chastity is the one that's waving with the camera, and Angela Ingalls is to her left, our right. They are both SAM grads, and they both work at SWBC. One for the owners, and the other one, I like to say, she works with me. And I pulled her to my team recently, because she has that degree in PR. And I said, oh, let's talk. Come on over. So it just kind of goes to show why it's so critical to make those connections and really rely on them. Ask them what you can do. Follow up with them. You meet somebody at an event, go follow up with an email later on. Follow up with a phone call, a handwritten note. I know a lot of people don't do that anymore, but those things are super critical to your success.
Yep.
And you've got to put in a little bit of the effort. And if you do that, you're going to have no problem. Sam Houston State is an amazing university. When I went to school here, we had 13,000 students. And I think today it's something like 21. Oh, no, Pam?
I don't know. I saw that news.
Okay, yeah. I also wanted to introduce the lady up in the middle of those two. This is Kelly, and she is our human resources manager. She oversees would you say the college programs and the recruiting?
Yes.
So you want to meet the people in the room, you got it tonight. So just do your best, put your best foot forward, and you will definitely go far. But lean on everyone and anyone that you can. One fun little side note before we start taking questions. How many of you had a class with Dr. T? Okay, he was my professor too. I won't say when I graduated, because then that'll age both of us. I graduated in 1998 from Sam, but he's also amazing. He's trying to get students out there. He's trying to help recruit and figure out where you would do best. And that's something he's always done. So again, I could probably go on and on and on about my story and about what I do and how I've gotten to where I am. But I want to open it up to questions whenever they're ready. So anything you have, anything you want to ask, I would say there are no questions or off limits.
Nope.
Thank you so much for just sharing with us. It's just such an honor to hear your stories and all of your knowledge. So as you can see, these three incredible women are very knowledgeable out there for you. So we're going to go ahead and open it to questions. That way y'all can just ask them anything you want to know.
And the way we're doing questions is we have this link, just so we have a lot of room to go.
Okay, so how we're doing this is there's these little QR code papers on your table in front of you. It might be on the end, so you can just pass it down the aisle, or it'll be up here at the front, and it's going to take you to a Microsoft form. And once you get in that, you just go ahead and type your question. And what we're going to do is we're going to take your question, and we're going to give each of them the opportunity to answer, unless you specifically put on there that you have a question for a specific person. So I'm going to give you all a moment to do that, and then Xander here is going to see all the questions, and he's going to try to go through and if we have a lot of the same questions, we'll kind of put it together, so that way everyone gets an opportunity and we can just all learn a lot. So we'll go ahead and get started with that.
Hello. Oh, hi. Okay, so our first question is from Sally, who is streaming. I'm really interested in going into nonprofit. What are some ways I can get connected into nonprofit, and how do I go from volunteer to employee? Yes, Tyler, you'll know a lot about this.
Yes, well, I'd say the fact that you're already volunteering is huge. Starting out as a volunteer is a great way to move up. One of my coworkers at the food bank, it was 2020 COVID time. She was looking for a job and she was bored out of her mind. So she started volunteering at the food bank, and she's now interim director of development. So volunteering is huge. Nonprofits are always in need of help. I am in need of help. So just reach out, send an email, share your resume and what you're interested in. And I guarantee they will find something for you to help with.
Awesome. Our next question is from an anonymous person. Do I have to have a degree in PR to work in PR? For
And so
everyone?
we'll start with Rachel and then
I'm gonna say no. It is so important just to get your ticket punch, getting out of here and getting that career plan. That's the most important thing. it's to show that you've got the dedication and drive into it.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people I know who work in PR or marketing didn't have a degree in that, didn't start off that way. Quite a few, most of the people, honestly, that I work with in PR did not start off in PR. So I don't think you need a degree in PR, but if you have the skills that is required to work in PR, then I think you're set.
And I'd also say no, that you know, you don't have to have a PR degree, but I would say too, look at it from the other side. If you are looking for a job, sometimes it's good to get outside of the communications industry, right? And get that experience, because that will help you get to where you want to be. Right, Chastity?
Absolutely.
Okay. Our next question is from Chloe, who's joining us in person. For Rachel, what were any challenges you faced owning your own business, and how did you overcome
So owning my own business, let me give a little bit of my backstory. So I was a single mom with twins. I had recently gone through a divorce, and so I am launching this business so I could be the mom I wanted to be. That was important to me because I wanted to have the work-life balance. In my career in PR, I had worked for the industrial supplier. I'd worked for Homeland Security. I had big PR jobs, and I wasn't going to sleep. And trying to be a mom and do all of the things was going to be hard. Some of the bigger challenges not only came from my life. I was widowed during the time of owning my industry. I have been divorced and widowed now, and I'm still a single mom with these two kids. We are still winning awards. I'm still getting up every day and still doing what I need to. So not only was my personal life coming in as a challenge, but the fun part of trying to learn HR is a hard field to get into and to deal with. It was learning that. It was dealing with accountants. It was dealing with all of the things that take to run a business. Do I have the proper licensing? I need insurance for all of the different things. We have HIPAA insurance because we deal with clients that are medical offices. So I have to carry insurance for that. It is learning all your blind spots, I would say, is the biggest challenge. What are your blind spots? And there's a lot. So I highly recommend meeting with business coaches or somebody that's been in it for a while to start talking about, what do you use for CRM? What do you use for, calculating your ROI? How are you going to report this back to your clients? There's a lot of challenges, and it is figuring out what your blind sides are for running your business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. You want me to do this? Yeah. Okay. This next question is for all of you guys, and an anonymous person. And looking back, is there anything you wish you had done differently in college to prepare you for your career?
I would like to take accounting courses. That would have been running my own business. Some of the business courses I wish I would have taken. My communications classes definitely prepared me for where I am today. But running a business, I wish I would have taken some of those core classes.
I think for me, I wish I would have met with an advisor sooner. I was all over the place. I started in pre-nursing, was going to do dental hygiene and then photography and digital media, and finally was like scrambling. I didn't know what to do. I went and sat down with an advisor, and we went over my skills and realized PR was for me. And so after my gap year and all these things that I did, I wish I would have just done that from the beginning, my freshman year, to figure out where I was going to go, but it all ended up good in the long run.
A little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll scream right here. But just, I wish I would have met with an advisor sooner to figure out what I wanted to do and to discover PR sooner. I had never heard of public relations. And really didn't know what it was. I just kind of knew, I'm creative. I like to write. I like to design on Canva. What can I do with those skills? And, he helped me find PR.
How many of you in here have a degree where an internship is required? Okay. If it is not required, go get an internship. Get a couple internships. different summers, different fall and spring semesters. I was going to graduate in 3 years with the degree in radio and television. And then I knew when I got to that point that I could get a double major in speech communications if I just took a couple more classes. So I did an internship, and I am so thankful that I did, because I learned so much. And really, to this day, so I did an internship at the ABC affiliate in San Antonio, which is where I ended up in TV after all. But I would say you've got to get out there, because there is so much that the books just don't teach. And make sure that you like your internship, because if not, maybe you need to pivot.
I will say something. I have two team members of mine that are a little bit more recent graduated than myself. And I asked them, I was like, what is the biggest advice that you're going to give these college kids? Because I'm sitting here and it's been a little bit since I've been in there. And so they said the biggest thing, it is terrifying when you guys are on your way out, right? Like, this is scary because the real world's coming. It is coming, and it's not easy. I'm going to be honest with you guys. She had a goal of doing 10 applications a day before she came to me, right? That's terrifying. It was her portfolio that helped set her apart. And I will tell you, as a business owner and the person that does HR, and I'm the one reviewing all of that, I like to see a portfolio. I don't care what it's on. I just need to see skills. I need to see copywriting skills. I need to see graphic design skills. I need skills. And then my director of social media, she came to me as an intern 4 years ago. She now runs the social media department of award-winning agency. She's done good. She said that school gave her the foundation, but her on-the-job and meaningful connections that she's made. I forced her into, she used to want to hide behind me when we would go to places. And I was like, there's no way. I need you to see what this looks like, meeting these people and shaking their hands. And now she runs a networking group here, in Willis for women. And so she runs an all business networking group. So 40 women sit there and listen to her every week, and she's doing it. And it's really about getting out there. And I mean, she didn't come to me with, my first intern didn't have a portfolio ready to go. I want to see them now because I want to see skills, but it's keeping that tenacity and still going, because it's going to get hard. It will get hard. It's who keeps showing up is going to win.
Thank you. The next one is from Fran, who says, what advice would you give to a non-traditional student who started this semester with 2 kids and feel behind in the game of networking? I'm willing to start when and where I can, but I feel behind. It's for everyone.
Everybody's looking at me. You're not behind. You're not behind. Not if you're still doing it here with 2 kids. You're not behind. I'm just going to say that right now, because the cards were definitely stacked against me 100% of the way. 100% of the way from me starting my business. I mean, I had nannies working in the house where the kids were in the house while I was trying to work. It was sometimes getting up in the morning and reading as much as I could to take in, and then working as hard as I could, and then scrambling to, make sure that the kids were taken care of. My husband died. I was down on the ground. I barely knew what to do with myself, but I kept getting up because I needed to. I had things to do. Just moving the needle an inch meant that I won that day. So even if you've got 2 kids and you feel like the cards are stacked against you, they're not. That each inch that you're taking, you're winning that.
Yeah, I work remotely with a 1-year-old at home. So, my little doesn't stop me. I think in terms of networking, I have found the biggest networking opportunities for me have been with the Chamber of Commerce's, or even just with volunteers who are volunteering at the nonprofit I'm at. Because so many businesses take their groups for like team bonding and go. And I've met so many people along the way. So I think wherever you are, talk to everyone in the room. That is so important. But yeah, I've got my 1-year-old who keeps me busy, but doesn't stop me from networking.
I have a dog. I was not lucky enough to have kids, and I waited till I was 44 to get married. So I put my career first, and that was my decision and my decision only. And I admire the women who have children and they are in the workplace and they're successful with what they do. and I say, women and men that are in the workplace. I mean, if you've got a family, you've got a lot of stuff going on. And the one thing you have to remember is that everyone you meet is dealing with something, right? We may think it's the worst at that time, but everyone is dealing with something, and you just got to keep going. Just get up, put a smile on your face, and you'll be successful for sure.
Thank you. It's good advice. The next one is from Adea, who's joining us in person. And it's for Tyler. Aside from volunteering, what steps would you recommend a student to get involved with a nonprofit, especially as a student closing in on graduation?
Send an email. Send an email, just reach out. Even if you scroll down and see info at whatever it is, someone's going to see that. Like I said, we always need help. Everyone is always in need because we wear so many different hats. The teams are always smaller at nonprofits. And so just send an email or call, just reach out, volunteer, just ask whatever you're interested in. If it's PR, marketing, I guarantee you there's a director of marketing who would love to have your help. I know right now as the marketing manager there, I'm a one-person team. And we're going to be posting a part-time position soon because I'm like, okay, I started there in December and I'm like, we need help. So I think just reach out and I'm sure someone will see where they can fit you in.
Thank you. Okay, so this is our last question, and it is from Jayla, who's joining us in person. What was the biggest challenge you had to overcome to get where you are now in your careers? Let's start with that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's start.
Start with me?
Yes.
You're the first one.
Whoa. I'm trying to get through what my biggest challenge would have been. It's getting over myself. That self-doubt, that imposter feeling. I know I own a room whenever I go into a room, but I got to get over myself some days. And I'm the biggest obstacle that's going to stand in my own way because nobody else will. It's going to be me. It's going to be me every single day. I got to choose to get out of my own way. What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? And so that's the biggest thing is getting out of my own way because it is that self-doubt that'll come into your head. My team's doing a good job. We're killing it. I know we are. But there's still those days because I want that next ring. And so I keep telling myself I'm not there yet because I've already climbed 15 different rings. And each one of them is, as soon as I grab it, I'm like, oh, but I need to be at this one. And I just got done telling 40 businesswomen this morning. You don't stop and take stock and look around you and go, man, I just did that. I don't know how I did that some days, but I did it. And it's getting out of my own way. That's the biggest challenge is telling yourself that you can still do it because the other things will fall into place if you believe in yourself.
I completely agree. I'd say the imposter syndrome. Clearly, I'm soft-spoken. And so I've always been introverted. Ask my sister. I think my hobby is sleeping before I had my son. So don't get to do that anymore. But I always have been the shy, introverted, creative type. And so I really had to push myself to get out of my shell and to network and talk. But that imposter syndrome can really get to you. But just keep pushing out of your comfort zone, I'd say was my biggest advice and my biggest obstacle.
Be confident because you deserve to be in the room. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you're doing. You're there for a reason. I work with men, women, old, young, you name it. And I don't ask myself, oh my gosh, I probably shouldn't be in this conversation because I'm X, right? Just believe in yourself. You need to be in the room and own it. And there are days, I know y'all have all heard it, fake it till you make it. I fake it till I make it some days. But you know what? If it's something I didn't know, I make it a point to learn it as soon as I walk out of that room. And don't be afraid to say, I don't know when you're in the workplace. Just figure it out after the conversation happens. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. I know for me that was very inspiring and very encouraging to hear. So I just want to say thank you all so much for taking the time to do this. I'm going to hand the floor over to Dr. Hubbard to just wrap us up.
Can we give these ladies one more round of applause? So I have a few things that I want to just remind you, also discuss. The very first one is we are very, very thankful for each and every one of you for bringing your expertise and for doing all of that. And for that, we're supposed to be giving the baskets. Can y'all go get them? As Lambda members, we all got you a little gift as a thank you. So you're probably going to thank them like 20 more times. But thank you again. So
Thank you.
I know we didn't get to every single question, and I apologize for that, but I want to make sure we can get home in time. I also have 3 little ones that they're going to be excited to see Dad in the morning. So I want to get home and sleep. But yeah, so thank you all for coming out. If you are doing extra credit, reminder that you have to submit it online. There's rules for your class if you're doing that. If you're not here for extra credit, then ignore me and tune me out. But make sure you follow that. If you're for my classes, I haven't set it up yet. Just give me a little. But for that, that's all I'm announcing for online, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you're our online streaming, that's all we have to do. The only thing we have left is to do a raffle. And of course, if you're here, I want to state that I've been given business cards by these ladies. We have swag from SWBU and the department. Can't talk, should not teach communication. So we're gonna do that. And thank you so much online. And online, if you want their contact, email our department email, it's in the link, and I will make sure you get their contact. So who wants to get some free stuff?
Can I?
I love this.
Wait, college students wanting free stuff. I don't really follow.
And then internships, can I just say that
Oh,
real
yes,
quick?
please, Rachel.
So we're in the process of hiring a content manager for our social media department. And I'm also looking for an intern that's going to be doing some personal work and being with me all the time. But we're hiring for a content manager as well, too. So I have given your professor here my business cards. You'll be able to get in touch if that's something that you guys are looking for. I highly recommend applying with us. And I will put you with some of my team too and have you interview with them as well. And they can talk to you about what the internships look like or the content creator positions.
And saying that if you're about to go for intern, find a professor you really enjoy. Like I just reviewed one of my students' resume and I wrote her a letter rec. I'm happy to do all of that. I teach it in the 2000 level business class, but also stuff. One thing I wanted to mention that I saw things online for that. If you're interested in how to get internships, of course, Rachel has some great connections. Career services is a great opportunity. If you do not, so does Lisa. And Tyler might as well, right? Always network. But career services has a great opportunity. If you're like, hey, look, I don't know how to get there. Connect with me or Colton or Ms. Hester or Dr. Thibodeau will also know. We will help you do that. Additionally, portfolios. Your class assignments can go into your portfolios. If you take amazing classes like risk communication, visual messages, both taught by me next semester, register now. But I do things that go into your portfolio. Okay, so that's a great way that you can do it. Like my visual messages class will do that. So those are great ways. Be creative in that. So I can give advice all day long. I can talk all day long, but let's do some free stuff. Woo! Okay, we're gonna have each of our panels draw a few names.
Okay. So yeah.
We have 4 gift cards and a bunch of.
I'm like trying to like mix it up. So we were like really rushing to find a bowl like 15 minutes before here, and we
It's a
came up with a
beautiful
vase.
flower vase.
Yes, it was in the break room.
Hey, it worked.